You're listening to the Platform Launchers podcast. I'm John Stange, and it's great to have you with us as always this week because here we talk about building and growing and monetizing your platform. And we also talk about this idea of taking your passion, turning it into an online platform that results in you earning a paycheck from the things that you care most about. And each week we like to talk about different topics that'll really help you advance your online platform ideas. If you're in the process of building an online platform, we want to give you some practical steps that are going to help you succeed. And if you already have a platform, we want to help you grow the platform that you're already building and even monetize it, because I'm convinced that a platform that gets monetized is usually a platform that sticks around for a little while, meaning a long time. And so we want to give you some ideas on how best to do that. And our topic this week, we're going to be focusing on how to communicate that you really believe in your product. So if you have an online platform, that means that most likely you have some products that go along with it, whether it be a specific product, whether it be a service, whether it be a membership community. There's probably something that you have for sale in conjunction with your online platform. And we just want to talk for a few minutes here about how to communicate that you really believe in your product. And I have a really useful example that comes from my life literally just yesterday. In fact, just yesterday, I was driving home from church. So I'm recording this here on a Monday. And just yesterday, I was driving home from church. It was a beautiful day. But as I was driving home, something caught my attention right in the middle of our town. Now, I live in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Langhorne is in the southeast corner of Pennsylvania. And if you know anything about this area, you know that there are a lot of historical things, historical buildings. There are historical events that took place here. Our community has a lot of historic older homes. And when I say older homes, I don't just mean like a little bit old. I mean homes that were built in the 1600s and the 1700s, right, just down the street from me here. And there's lots of them. It's not just one or two. It's a whole row of homes, that a whole street, a whole section of homes that were all built in the 1600s and 1700s and roughly right around that period of time. And they're well taken care of. So these are not properties that are dilapidated. They're well taken care of. They're beautiful. They make them very interesting to look at. There's just the architecture is very interesting to look at, the way people decorate them and take care of them. And so as I was driving home yesterday, I just was appreciating these properties and appreciating Maple Avenue in Langhorne and just all the beautiful things on it. And I'm just making my way down Maple Avenue, appreciating the nice day, appreciating the beautiful architecture. And I happened to notice something that I had not seen before right there in the center of our town. I actually noticed that someone had set up a flower stand right in their front yard, and they had some very beautiful flower bouquets and other arrangements for sale right there at this stand that they had just set up. And I'd never noticed this before. I'd never noticed this person doing this. I never saw this flower stand before. This was something brand new. And immediately as I passed it, I thought to myself, you know what? I got to stop the car. I want to stop the car. And I felt compelled to pull over, and I wanted to purchase something that I could bring home for my wife, because this was just something I wanted to support right in my community. And so I parked my car and I walked up to the stand and I greeted the woman who was running it. Her name was Danielle. And I asked Danielle about what she was doing. And I asked her to help me pick out just a bouquet that she thought my wife might enjoy. And so we discussed a few options. And in the midst of our conversation, she told me that this was a brand new business for her and that she really enjoyed caring for flowers and growing flowers and arranging flowers. And that she was even in the process of creating a website to showcase what she had for sale. And so she was really taking an entrepreneurial approach to her passion for beautiful flowers. And the more I heard her talk, the excited I got for the business that she was building, because I really felt like her enthusiasm for this flower business was contagious. And I could also tell that she knew a lot about the flowers that she was selling, because she was telling me all sorts of details about them. And not only did she tell me a bunch of details about them, but she also asked me some very good questions about which colors and which flower types my wife tended to enjoy. And she wanted to know those details before suggesting a particular bouquet, because I basically said to her, could you help me pick something out that my wife might enjoy? And so then she listened very carefully and she helped me pick something out. And it was wonderful because then after I paid for the recommendation that she gave me, the particular bouquet, it had some sunflowers in it, and it had some other things that were bright purple, and I don't even remember what everything was called, but it looked very nice. And then in addition to that, after I paid, she gave me a beautiful patriotic centerpiece that I could take home for free. She said, you know what, take this home with you as well. Maybe you'd enjoy this and it'll help you as you're celebrating the 4th of July. And I thought, well, that was wonderful. And so I brought these home and walked into my house and I gave my wife the flowers, and she loved that bouquet. She told me it was perfect. And when I described the other options that she could have selected if she was there with me, she confirmed that Danielle's recommendation was spot on. She said, "Nope, Danielle figured out what I like, and this was a spot on recommendation. Great recommendation. I love this." And I thought, well, wonderful. I felt good in many respects for what I had just shared with my wife, and also felt good about the fact that I had the chance to support Danielle's new business. Now, it's very obvious to me that Danielle loves what she does. It's also very obvious and clear to me that she believes in the product that she's selling. This was the first time I had ever met her. Our interaction only really lasted just a few minutes, but there were many obvious signs that made it very clear that I was going to be very happy with the purchase I just made for her or from her. And the way that she communicated made me feel very confident in her business overall. It just seemed like this was a very natural fit for the things that she cared about. And I bring that up as an example because I think it's very relevant to what we're talking about right now. When you're building an online platform and when you're filling that online platform with various services, various products, and maybe even some memberships that you plan to offer potential customers, I want to encourage you to be mindful how you carry yourself and be mindful of what you communicate, because communicating genuine belief in your product, I think that that's crucial when you're attempting to build trust and when you're attempting to build credibility with potential customers. And I'd really like to suggest a few simple but effective ways that you can convey sincere belief in your product. And I think each of these suggestions are useful in a variety of ways. And I saw Danielle do this, and I want to point it out to us as well. And I think, first of all, when you're just trying to convey confidence in your product and confidence in what you're producing and selling, I think first of all, you need to make sure that you know your product inside out. Know it inside out. Danielle knew her product inside out. We want to thoroughly understand whatever we're selling, right? The features, the benefits, the unique selling points, whatever it may be of what we're offering, because I think this deep knowledge of what we're selling is going to naturally be reflected in the confidence that we start conveying when we start discussing and promoting it. And if you know your product inside out, if you could talk about it from every direction, I think that that's going to come out in how you present it to others. And I think they're going to perceive your confidence even from that. I also think that when you talk about your product or you present your offering, whatever it may be sure to use personal examples and personal stories. Don't be afraid to do that. Some people think that when you're speaking or when you're sharing or when you're marketing something, that you really shouldn't get too personal. But I actually think it's really cool to talk about personal experiences and personal stories. Danielle did that when she was talking about her business. She was talking about some of the things that she had done recently to get it started and some of the things that were difficult. And she was just telling me all about it while I was picking out flowers. But I think from our perspective, as we're building online platforms, we should not be afraid to share our personal anecdotes and our personal stories about maybe how our product has made a positive impact on somebody's life, or maybe how our product has made a positive impact on our own life and why we use it or why we recommend it or why we built it. Because I think those real life examples, what they end up doing is demonstrate your genuine belief in what you've created. And I think they help you create an emotional connection with your audience. I am convinced that the human mind is wired to understand and appreciate the things that are told to it in story form. I think that that's one of the primary ways we learn things and we retain knowledge. So be sure to use personal experiences and personal stories when you talk about the things that you have for sale. I also think that we ought to be passionate and enthusiastic about what we're offering. I think using energetic and positive language to convey our excitement, I think that that helps our passion to become a bit contagious. And I think it could also help build interest in what you're attempting to sell to other people. It was very obvious to me that Danielle was very passionate and very enthusiastic about the flowers she sold. I could even tell when she was handling them. She was basically treating them like they were like precious children. She was just handling them with such care, and she was talking about them with enthusiasm and with joy, and she would smile as she was talking about them. This was more than a business for her. It was a way of making the lives of other people better. Because who doesn't enjoy, a nice bouquet of flowers, right? You present that to your wife, present that to someone in your life, present that to your mother. That's something that's going to encourage somebody else. I think now, let's say what you're creating isn't so much a product. Let's say it's a service. I think another thing that we ought to do when we're talking about it or conveying information about it is also have in mind some evidence and data that can back up what our products can do or our services can do. So I think in many respects, let's say you have a mastermind group, or let's say you're offering coaching, or let's say you're offering courses or a community or something like that. I think one of the best ways that you can help convey that message in a context like that would be through using customer testimonials and case studies, or even statistics that tend to highlight the value of what you've created or what you offer. I think factual evidence, it enhances your credibility and it reinforces the things that you claim to believe. And I think it's also useful to really just commit much of this data to memory so that you can just speak about it with authority as people are asking you about some of the services and the products that you make available. Couple other things that I think are useful when we're talking about the things that we've created or that we're offering. I think selling with integrity is another important facet of what we need to do when we're talking about the products and services that we offer. And I think when we sell with integrity, we want to make sure that we're being forthright about what our product can do and what it cannot do. And I think it's useful to demonstrate honesty and transparency by just openly discussing any limitations or any drawbacks of our product or our service. I think that that shows that we're confident enough to even just address some potential concerns that a customer might have. I think it could also help build trust with an audience. You want to sell with integrity. You never want to overpromise. You always want to be honest about what your products and services can do and cannot do. And I think that that helps you as you're trying to convey with confidence what your product and what your service is all about. And then one last thing that I want to say, when you're talking about the things you offer, and I do this all the time, and I hope that it'll inspire you to consider doing this as well, but don't be afraid to offer guarantees or trials. Now, some people don't like doing this, and I understand why they don't like doing this. I very much like doing this. I'm not afraid to offer guarantees or trials. In fact, I almost always do this. And I think that when you provide guarantees or when you offer trial periods for your products or your services, I think that that can be a really helpful thing to just alleviate doubts or maybe some reservations that potential customers have. I think it demonstrates your belief in your product's quality, and it gives people the opportunity to experience that value firsthand. And if you look at what I have available on my websites, I put guarantees behind just about everything I sell. There are certain things you really can't ultimately guarantee, but most things you can. And basically, I don't bother to sell something if I'm not convinced it's absolutely going to work. And so I prove that by putting my money where my mouth is. I let people try things for free, oftentimes for weeks or more. I give guarantees where I let people know, hey, listen, try this. And if after trying it, if you don't like it, if you don't feel like it works for you, just let me know and I'll refund your money. And in most cases, it's a no questions asked refund. And I like doing that. I think that it demonstrates confidence in the things that I'm trying to make available to other people. If I would put that kind of guarantee behind it, it's the type of thing that conveys that, look, I actually believe that this is going to work. And I don't put something out there that I don't actually believe in. I also don't recommend things that I don't actually believe in as well. And keep in mind, when you're thinking about the things that you're going to communicate to your potential audience, the things that you're going to sell, the things that you're going to make available, genuine belief in your product, it's not just about marketing tactics. It should come from a deep understanding and a deep conviction that what you sell truly makes a difference, that it's going to make somebody's life better, that it's going to solve a problem for them, that it's going to help them in many different ways. And I think by communicating this belief, you can inspire confidence in potential customers. And I think that also increases your chance of success. And if you want to test me out on this a little bit, do me a favor and visit platformlaunchers.com. And you're going to see two specific opportunities that I'd like to highlight. First of all, I just mentioned that I'm not afraid to offer trials or guarantees. Well, one of the things you'll notice on the website, if you go to the membership page, is that I invite everyone that visits that page to take a free 14-day test drive of our members club. And if you take that free trial, that free test drive, what you'll gain is immediate access to the launch plan course. For $229, but you could try it out for free for 14 days if you want to just test it out and see what you think of it. And if you like it, you'll also find out that I've got hundreds of hours of video training on the website that is hopefully going to just enable you to really sort through all sorts of details that can help you build your online platform. But there's hundreds of hours of video training there that you could access immediately through that trial. You'll see interviews as well with various guest experts that talk about their specialties. And you'll also get to meet and interact with other members who are in our members club, as collectively we're in the process of building and monetizing our online platforms. And so that is a free trial, a free test drive that I make available right there at platformlaunchers.com on the membership page. And I'd encourage you to check it out. I'd also invite you to download my most recent course, which is called Earn $250 a Day from Your Online Platform. And in that course, what I do is I'll walk you through everything it takes to build that level of online income. I'll show you exactly what I did to get started when I was building my online income. I'll show you what I'm continuing to do at present. And the best part is that if you take the course, and it's an 8-part course, and if you feel like it doesn't work for you, just let me know. And here's the thing, I will refund 100% of your purchase price. And I'm not even going to debate it with you. It's not something that you have to, jump through hoops to get a refund. If you don't feel like it works for you, just let me know. And that money is refunded, no questions asked. That's how certain I am it'll work. It's something that I've actually been doing for a long period of time. And I just put down what I know into that course. And it's been exciting to hear the testimonials of various people who have been using that course and now making their way toward earning an average of $200 a day from their online platform. And the cool thing is some people are now exceeding that by little amounts. And I know one person that's actually exceeding that by major amounts. And so it's exciting to watch it work for other people. So those are some things I'd encourage you to check out. Stop by to platformlaunchers.com and you will find all those different options. And I hope that it's immensely beneficial to you as you're building your online platform. I always enjoy this time we have the opportunity to spend together each week. Thank you again for tuning into this podcast this week, even though I got a little tongue-tied this week. I don't know what it is. It's just one of those days for me. But either way, I'm grateful that you were able to tune in with us and spend some time with us. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week. It's summer here in Pennsylvania. It's my favorite time of year. I love this time of year. I hope you're having a wonderful summer wherever you're at. And I look forward to catching up with you again right here next week, next time. Have a wonderful week. We look forward to seeing you then. And in the meantime,